Hi students. In our previous video we have studied how to change an assertive sentence or a statement into indirect speech. Today we are going to discuss how to change an interrogative sentence and an imperative sentence into indirect speech. First of all, let us see how to change an interrogative sentence or a question into indirect speech. To report a WH question, we use a reporting clause and a clause with a WH word. Normally, we use the same question word that is used in the question in the indirect speech. For example, she said to me, "What is the problem?" We can change this sentence into indirect speech. She asked me what the problem was. When we report a yes or no question, we use a reporting clause followed by a clause beginning with either if or whether in the sentence. We have to remember that when we report questions, we use the same word order as in statements. That means the structure of a question changes into the structure of a statement. Let us see an example. Have you seen Paul recently? She wanted to know if I had seen Paul recently. However, if the original question begins what, which, or who, followed by be plus complement, we can put the complement before or after be in the report. For example, who was the winner? I asked who the winner was. Or I asked who was the winner. Here in this sentence, the question begins with who and the complement used is the winner. So what is a complement? Complement is a word or a phrase or a clause that completes the predicate. We should notice that we don't use a form of do. That means do, does, did in the WH or if or whether clause in the indirect speech. However, if we are reporting a negative question, we can use a negative form of do. That means didn't, doesn't, don't can be used in a negative question. Reported questions are introduced with the verbs ask, inquire, wonder, want to know, etc. As we said, the auxiliaries do, does, did, and question marks are not used in the indirect speech. The word order is the same as in statements, and tenses, the pronouns and the places of nearness changes into the places showing distance are followed as we used in the statements. Whether often indicates uncertainty or doubt. It is used when there is a choice between two alternatives. For example, he wondered whether I had posted the letter or not. If a question with a question tag is to be reported, then we omit the question tags in the reported speech. For example, they haven't arrived yet, have they? We can change this sentence into the reported speech like this. He asked if or whether they had arrived at. He asked if or whether they had arrived at. Remember, the question structure changes into the structure of statement. Next, we go to imperative sentences. In reporting an imperative sentence like commands, requests, or advice, the reporting verb say or tell is changed into a verb expressing a command, advice, or request. For command, we use the words or the verbs like command, order, bid, tell, etc. For prohibition, we use the word forbid. In order to propose, we use propose or suggest. For entreaty, we use entreat, pray, or beg. So, all these verb forms will be followed by full to infinitive. Let us see an example. Don't talk too fast, he said. He advised me not to talk so fast. The other changes that are taking place in an imperative sentence is that the imperative mood is changed into the infinitive. That is commonly not used. If it is used, then instead of to, should is placed before the imperative. The rules for change of pronouns must be observed, and most importantly, when let in the direct speech expresses a proposal or a suggestion, we may use should and change the reporting verb to propose or suggest. For example, he said to me, "Let us have some tea." He proposed or suggested to me that we should have some tea. We have to remember, we used the verb proposed and it is followed by should in that clause. When let does not express a proposal, it should be changed into might or might be allowed into some other verb according to the sense. For example, he said, "Let me have some water." Here it is not a suggestion, it is not a proposal. So here we can make the changes like this. He said, "Let me have some water." He wished that he might have some water. Next, we are going to see the exclamatory sentences. When we change exclamatory sentences into indirect speech, we have to remember that exclamatory sentences express a sudden feeling. When the contents of an exclamatory sentence are reported, the reporting verb say or tell is changed into exclaim, cry out, wish, pray, confess, etc. The exclamatory form is changed into the statement form, and the mark of exclamation is replaced by a full stop. We have to remember that exclamation mark is removed and we keep a full stop there at the end of the sentence. All interjections, nominatives of address are omitted or sometimes put as the object of the reporting verb. But the force of interjection is kept by suitable adverbs or other expressive words as indicated above. For example, she said, "Alas, he is dead." She cried out with sorrow that he was dead.